In this video, we'll understand the concept of managing relationships or the entire concept of relationship marketing. There has been a very paradigm shift from transaction based marketing to a focus towards building customer relationships so that you can build a long term commitment, ensuring that you provide the required quality of service, and also you can ensure that over a period of time you can innovate and build your service to levels which can go beyond customer satisfaction. To define relationship marketing, customers become partners in an entire relationship marketing focus, and the firm makes a commitment to maintain those relationships, ensuring quality, service, and innovation. The primary goal of relationship marketing is to ensure not just attracting a customer, satisfying a customer, but more importantly, to retain the customer. The more stronger the bond between the customer as well as the service organization, the more it is possible to retain the customer towards that particular service organization and ensure the customer takes the repeat services from the same organization. You need to understand that we are talking about service marketing here. When it comes to product marketing, it's all about purchasing a product and you're more like done and dusted. Although a product will have its, you'll still have probably a repair service with the product or guarantee, depending on the type of category of product. But services are more like long term. You want to build a continuous relationship with the customer. So retention becomes a key aspect of service marketing. And beyond retention, we go to a level called as enhancement. We look at the different levels which we look at when it comes to the entire ladder of relationship marketing. The primary focus is on keeping and improving relationships with current customers rather than on only acquiring new customers. Customers have to become partners as well as co-creators. The entire concept of them becoming partners is also something we'll look at further in this video. It's going to be explained to you. Co-creators is nothing but you want to involve your customers in the way you provide the service. You want to improve your service. That's why in every service organization or every kind of service, let's say we take an example of a restaurant service, you want to take feedback from the customers whether the customer is happy, and if it's not so, how well, what went wrong, and how well can we improve in order to provide a better service to the customer going ahead in the future. The idea is thus becomes even more pertinent where the customers become co-creators in the entire process of improvisation of a service or providing a better service to the customer and keeping the customer happy and retaining him so that he comes back to that particular service organization. So, taking a summary of what has just been explained, the customer goals of relationship marketing is acquiring, satisfying, retaining, which is highlighted in red there for a particular purpose there because retaining is key. Retention is more important than just acquiring and satisfying because you can just acquiring is easy. Satisfying is probably depending upon whatever kind of service you provide. And enhancing is a level beyond that. What is the benefit for the customer in this entire concept of relationship marketing, trying to acquire, satisfy, retain, and enhance? The benefit for the customer is the confidence benefits. He has a trust in the provider. Think about it this way: you visit a hairdresser or a salon, um, and only if over a period of time you build a trust, that a trust is being built between the provider as well as the customer, you would prefer to go back to that particular salon. and that also comes with the social benefit. The second benefit is the sense of familiarity. You build a social relationship. You know that the service provider already is aware of what kind of haircut do you need, what is the kind of beard, what do you basically do every time that you go to a salon. You don't have to really go back to explaining everything. Or if you are going for a regular kind of a service, we're talking about a regular kind of a service where you go back and you take that same service again. You know that the trust that you build and the social benefits is more about the sense of familiarity and the confidence that you build with the service provider. Special treatment benefits. What happens is that you get some special prices because you are a repeat customer, you get some kind of preferential treatment because there is a sense of familiarity and trust. Known customers are always given higher benefits. Sometimes you're given some special discount. We see this happening a lot with most of the online movie providers, whether it is Netflix or you're talking about Disney. You have this entire concept of the premium customers. Different providers call it differently. Flipkart has their different kind of a program. Amazon has its Prime program. I'm not able to recollect the name of the Flipkart program right now, but everyone has their separate thing for their general customers, and for those customers whom they know will do a repeat purchase, so they give them that Prime benefit, additional benefit. Sometimes if you have been utilizing a service for a very long time, then you automatically become you get probably a discount on the Prime membership. For example, if I'm talking about Amazon, or you would get a lot even though you are not a Prime customer. The thing is, you have not taken that extra service, but you have been a repeat customer, and this is a case with a lot of providers these days online, whether it is these movie service providers or music service providers, whether it is Ghana.com or any other service provider, or looking at the offline providers that you go to. Probably you go for checkups, you go for diagnostic services to do a medical shop, and they probably give you because you are a regular customer, you always have a discounted price as compared to a general customer who would come in there for a first time annual health checkup. Fourth point, receive greater value related to what they expect from competing firms. Because retention is key, a service provider will provide you with all the special treatment benefits because he doesn't want you to go to the competing firm. What is the benefit to the firms or the organizations in entire relationship marketing concept? There is the economic benefit, increased purchases over time, because your customer is going to be purchasing more. He's going to be willing to pay more, and that's going to increase your revenue, and your costs are also going to be reduced as a result of having a repeat customer. Having more number of new customers is not just really going to benefit you from an economic perspective to the firm. Customer behavior benefits. Word of mouth. Your customer will actually tell good things about a satisfied customer will say good things about you, and that will ensure that you get new customers. There is a kind of social support you get from a customer. Now, what do you understand by social support? Social support is where a customer to another customer, he will try to ensure that he explains about everything that a service provider provides. Let's say you go to a mechanic and he has done a very good job in repairing your car, and your friend has a problem with a car, and he comes to you and he says, I have this problem. Not just word of mouth, you will go to the different extent of actually telling that how well does he serve, and what are the benefits that he would provide you compared to a competitor. That is a social support, and you become kind of a mentor. The customer, if you are the customer, you become kind of a mentor to the other person who might become a new prospect or a new customer to the service organization or the service provider. That is the customer kind of benefits that you get. Human resource management benefits. Yes, you would think of how would it help in the human resource of an organization. How it helps is that it basically helps in co-production, assistance in service delivery. Uh, Best example, diagnostic service. say you're a repeat customer, you have to go take up every 6 months checkup or every 1 year checkup. There are certain procedures in service organizations, right? You have to probably get your previous medical records. When you enter a hospital, also, what do you do first? You have to go to the counter, you have to fill a form, then you have to go to probably the cash counter, and you do the billing there, and then you get the receipt, and then you go back to you take that, and that is your record. You probably get a token, and then you go to for a visit to the actual doctor. There's a procedure involved. If you are someone who is already aware of it, then the assistance is already being provided. You need not have to explain. The service provider need not have to explain everything to the customer. The building a relationship and building a customer who's already going to be a repeat customer to you, he's already aware of procedures that you provide. So it becomes your work is simplified. You can only concentrate on new customers. There is going to be realistic customer expectation. Now, for every person, when a restaurant is known, you already know that this is the kind of food service you provide. You know that when I go and sit in this restaurant, this is the amount of time it's going to take for the order to come by. And if it's a Sunday, then Sunday this is a very peak restaurant is very popular. There's going to be probably 25 to 30 minutes that I need to wait for my order to arrive. So the expectations are realistic. It's already laid out. It's not like you just go there and you like, if you're not aware, if you're a new customer and you go to a restaurant and if you're not aware, then you might have a very dissatisfied feeling, and you might just step out of the restaurant saying, oh, I really had to wait a long time. But if you have already known about that restaurant, then the expectations become real. You do not have a very unrealistic expectation about the service provider. Employee retention. Now, how does employee retention matter? If you're able to retain customers, employees are also happy. Think of an organization where you're not getting really clients. If you do not get clients, the employees do not get paid well because there is no work. So if you have enough and more clients coming in, enough and more customers coming in for the service organization, there is enough and more revenue building up, and enough and more employees that would retain back because they have work and they are productive and they are getting enough salaries or perks or bonuses by the organization. Let's understand how relationships are evolved over a period of time. When you understand the relationship evolution, look at this as evolution of a relationship between, let's say, two people, just human relationship. How do they build up? Initially, when two people meet, we are just strangers. And strangers are nothing but, look at now, in that same context, understand, with the same analogy, understand a customer and an organization, service organization. Strangers are those customers who have not yet had any transactions or interactions with the firm and may not even be aware of the firm. First time customers. Acquaintances, next stage. Once customer is aware and he has tried your product, it has some familiarity is established, the customer and the firm become acquaintances, creating the basis for an exchange of relationship. It's just like how you are acquainted with a particular service firm. At this point, you need to understand this. At this point, it's not necessary that a customer will stick to you. Even though he's acquainted, he is aware, it's just a familiarity. He can still go back and try a competing service the next time because he's not yet become your friend. He's not yet reached the level where he's able to build trust in you. He's only at the level where he's familiar. At a stranger level, he was not aware of about you. Now he's aware. It's the first stage. He has tried, and he's just understand. It's just a relationship is just established. Then he goes to a level of a friend. Then, as in between customer as well as the service organization. As the customer continues to make a second purchase, remember we had learned the concept earlier. We had learned the concept of moment of truth. Uh, if I am able to recollect clearly, if I don't know if in marketing management we had covered the moment of truth concept earlier, but it's a new concept actually this year. So I'll just reiterate that concept. Moment of truth is a time when you first are become aware about something. through an ad, and then you try it, and then you have a second moment of truth. This is that strangers to acquaintances, and then you become a friend. When you become a friend, basically, you know what kind of value you will receive in the exchange of relationship between customer and service organization. The firm begins to acquire specific knowledge of the customer's needs, allowing it to create an offering that directly addresses the customer's situation. So, customer is aware of the service organization. Service organization, in turn, is also aware of what the customer needs. So, he can personalize and provide what the customer really requires. At this stage, you know that this customer will stick to you because you've already built a trust. So, retention is key. If you're able to retain this customer who's a friend with whom there is a sharing of knowledge, just like how two friends share a lot of knowledge between them, they understand each other. Retention of your friendship is important. Retention of the customer is important, and that building trust at this stage is important and giving him what he really requires. Now, friends is just that initial stage. Even between two humans, they do not become partners. They do not marry each other just like that. They are friends, and only when the strength or the bond deepens or the bond strengthens, then they become partners. So, as a customer continues to interact with the firm, the level of trust often deepens, and the customer may receive more customized or product offerings and interactions. The trust developed in the friendship stage is necessary but not sufficient condition for a customer firm partnership to develop. Think about the partners are the ones who are loyal, who will continue to purchase from you. Friends need not be loyal because a friend can have another friend. So a customer who purchases from you still may trust you but also purchase from a competitor firm. Purchase as in may use the service of a different organization. But a partner will always stick to you and become your loyal customer throughout his entire life. So that's what you need. You need to ultimately build a trust so that you're able to make every customer your partner. So, in order to look at differently, now this is just another way of looking at one of the service organizations had come up with this four-tier system for profitability. A lot of salespeople use this. They call the prospects as cold, hot, super hot, warm, cold, warm, hot. It's more like that itself. It's something like this itself in the service organizations. Another way to categorize them at the bottom of the pyramid is a lead, who is the least profitable customer, and then who's somebody who's just onboarded. You just acquired him. Firm actually utilizes more cost, time, and money and effort in order to to ensure that to get new people. So but the result is always less because he may just purchase once from you. He may just use your service once. He may not come back again. Least profitable customer and more effort on the organization side. Then he becomes the iron customer. He becomes the customer where he will purchase again from you, who provide basically who will spend a little more, who might be loyal, some kind of profitability is there, but not enough for you to provide customized services to him because you know that he also will switch to a competitor. He's just trying you for once. He may try somebody else also. He knows you well. He may try. He may go on. Gold is the next level. Now, gold stage is a level where profitability is really high. It's increasing. It's growing up the pyramid. And these customers also may not be as loyal because what these customers start doing is now they start demanding. They want discounts. They are very heavy users. Uh, Risk level is less, but they may also try other competitors. They have the freedom. Then you go on to a platinum customer, who is the customer that you really want. You'll cost less to maintain. He will become your loyal customer. He will be the most profitable. He'll probably buy high value items. Items as in he'll take up your high valued services, probably the premium service that you offer, and he will also be a someone who will get new customers for you. Foundations for relationship strategies. Now, these are foundations also, which are the essential foundations, which we will look further in this video on how to retain customers. What are the strategies to retain customers? So, the foundations To build a quality relationship in order to retain customers, if provide quality in your service. If there is quality in your service will be reutilized. Do a proper market segmentation and targeting. You are well aware of how market segmentation happens. It's no different how market segmentation in service marketing. It's the same that happens in a product marketing. Absolutely no difference. Same way you segment, the concept STP holds true. Segmentation, targeting and positioning is the same. Monitor your relationships. The more you monitor, the more you continue seeing whether the customer is happy or not. You see a feedback and provide something of value, enhance the customer relationship. You will ensure that you will be able to retain the customer. Building customer relationship through retention strategies. A key part of the entire service marketing is retention, is deepening the relationship. And to deepen the relationship, there are certain strategies that you will use. What can you do to ensure that a person who is your customer does not leave you and go to a competitor organization? Bundling. You see this quite well. You will try to bundle your service along with, it's more like how product bundling happens. You provide a laptop along with a mouse. You provide it a laptop along with a hard disk. That's called bundling. You give a combo offer. That's bundling. Just like that, a service also you can bundle. Generally, in salon services, I see this, or you see in diagnostic, because I've repeated the same examples. I'll take the same examples. Diagnostic, they say health checkup, four different things that you do, probably a lipid profile, kidney profile, it'll cost you so much. But if you take up and add more, you do your probably, I'm not able to recollect some more, but you do some more health checkups. Probably you'll take your, you check your sugar levels also, and you're going to check something more, probably three, four more checkups that you add to it, becomes that package is more bundled and it's more discounted because it's at a lesser price. So you'll try to purchase that, a bundled service. Salon also, maybe a haircut with a beard, with a shave cost you less than only doing that separately. Or if you take up massage along with haircut, then it's going to cost you less. Cross selling. Cross selling is when you've sold one item and you're selling another item related to that item. You have sold a laptop and you say, how about purchasing a mouse also? Basically, you suggest, you slowly start pushing the next thing also to that customer. It's more like, when you purchase from Flipkart and all, you'll see that, this customer who has purchased XYZ product has also looked at ABC product, has also purchased this set of products. It's more like slowly they're taking more products and pushing it towards you. They're not bundling it, they're not giving you a combo offer, but they're telling you people who have purchased this have also purchased this. How about adding this to that? How about when you purchase a t-shirt, how about even adding this jeans? It probably will go well with that t-shirt. I'm talking in terms of product. The concept cross-selling is the same in services. You'll try to provide an extra service along with the service that you have already taken up. Personalized offers by segment. If you are able to segment your entire market well, then for different segments, maybe for people who are above 60, you'll provide a different service. People who are between 40 to 60, you'll provide different service. Maybe teenagers, you'll try to provide different service. People who are married, you'll provide a different service. Depend on how you segment them, whether segmenting on demographic, income level, psychographic, anything, age, marital status. Unlock better features progressively. Now, this is something which is very beautifully done by, I think, some of these OTT providers. If you stick with them for a long time, slowly you'll see something new will be unlocked. Um, I can't recollect. There's one particular gaming app. When you play that game for a long time, when you have reached a particular level, yes, I'm not able to recollect the game, but this particular game which I was playing in, not a very high memory required game. It's a simple app, small game. It's more of a brain game. When you play the game and you have reached beyond a particular level, some more features open up. And when those features open up, you are given things like, to ensure that you play further, they will unlock something saying to go beyond this and to try this, you may have to pay something extra. You have the thing is it is only provided to people who have reached a particular level. You know why? Because that ensures, I mean, the service provider also knows that you have been utilizing it for a long time. When you utilize something for a long time, it is assumed that you'll continue using it. If I have used something only for once or twice, I won't go for this technique for unlocking a better feature. If I have used it like say 15, 20 times, right time to unlock a new feature and to offer it as a premium. Then you know you'll surely take it because you already know how good it is. Financial rewards, discounts. You're well aware of what discounts are. Loyalty rewards. Being a repeat customer will give some loyalty card. Cashbacks, subscriptions. Subscription is the model which is followed by every other organization these days. Every service organization. Everything works on subscriptions. Your Swiggy or Zomato also works on subscriptions. They never started with subscription, but they also have a subscription model now. Non-financial rewards, priority, recognition, appreciation, status. What do you mean by this? How service organization? They'll reward you. Google Pay does that. GPay gives you kind of gamifies the entire process of payment. After you reach a particular stage, they say, "Wow, you've got a badge. You've got a gold badge now. You recognize, your name along with, you've reached the stage now. To unlock the next stage, to get the silver, to get the platinum badge, you should be doing bill payment, you should be doing electricity payment, you should be doing this payment, that payment, or probably one UPI of this value. As and when you go, the prior, sometimes you get recognition in terms of if you are a valued customer, they will probably also send you something like the most valued customer of this month, send you a certificate. With that certificate, they'll provide you some goodies. You become a priority customer. When it comes to delivery, you get the delivery much faster because you are a priority customer. That's how you build customer relationship through retention strategies. What are the strategies for reducing customer defections so that you retain them? Similar thing what I have spoken earlier. It's just some more additional things. Now you try to understand why do they defect? Why do they leave? Why do they leave you? Why do they not get retained? If you see the small diagram out there, the customer relationship model is very simple. You acquire them, you retain them. Simple. If not, they churn. Churn basically is nothing but when they leave you. That's basically what churn as a word means. And churn in organizations, there is a churn as a metric measure is largely measured in all the organizations to see what is the churn levels in every organization. The higher the churn levels, you know that something is going wrong with my service. I want to reduce my churn. Now, if people are going away, how do you win them back? Winning back strategies also, there are a lot of strategies on trying to win back a customer. When you're able to win back customer, you're basically reacquiring the customer. So it's a loop. You acquired, you retain, but if he leaves and he tries to go to a competitor, get him back. Give him something better than what you gave him before. Acquire him again. Put him into that loop. And you have a profitable customer. You have a good kind of a model that is just kind of going on in a wheel in a loop. For that, you need to understand the reason for switching. Why has he left you? Why is that churn happening? And why has he gone to the competitor? So for that, you'll do something called analysis. You analyze the data of churn customers, customers who have declined, customers who have left, something called churn diagnostics. Customer service. You'll understand, you'll ensure that, you do exit interview. When the customer has left, you try to understand the feedback, and you probably do a survey, you do a general market survey on what are the problems that has with your service. So the more you understand the problems with your service, the more you understand how to fix them and how to ensure that customers do not leave you, right? That's customer service is paramount. Address the key churn drivers, what basically drives people to leave you. Implement effective complaint handling and service recovery procedures, a concept that we will look at in another video, where we'll understand the entire process of what service recovery is, how is complaints handled, and how do customers complain about a particular service. You increase switching costs. Now, this is not done in all services, not possible to do this, something called increased switching costs. What it means is that you make it difficult for a person to leave you. Once he has taken your service, he has subscribed to your service, or he is paid some amount for your service, you make it so difficult for him to leave you and go to another customer. Let's say a telecom service. He's Geo. Geo is, and he wants to switch and go to Airtel. Don't make it easy for him. Like, you have provided, you have taken so much money from that person about Geo. You have given him Geo Cinema, you have given him Geo Money, you have given him all Geo platforms. And when he has to leave, he has to probably sign some. It's not going to be very easy for him to switch and go to another. Now it's easy. You have this concept of utilizing the same SIM and going to another provider, which was not there earlier. But you make it difficult for him. He has to write an agreement. He has to sign something. He has to go through a lot of paperwork. And when a person is a customer with something for a long time, let's say for just say as simple as cutting your hair. I don't know why I'm still getting the example of a salon itself time and again, or probably a car wash. Let's look at car wash now, okay? Or a mechanic, or, a car wash service. A person, you just have to enter that car wash and give your car for wash. Every time you've gone there, he knows what needs to be done. He knows what you want. You just leave it there. You just go and you come back in the evening or after 3 4 hours. But if you're switching to another person, that person may charge you more, may not be aware, he may not do a good job. You may need to explain to him everything as to what is it that you want in your car to be done. That effort is more. The switching cost for a customer to move away is actually more. The effort and time involved is more, and probably the procedure involved is more. Now, on the right hand side are the reasons for customer defection, service failure. We'll look at the concept of service failure and service recovery in another video. He is dissatisfied with your service encounter. We had studied the concept of service encounter before. That's the first time he is actually facing your service. There's probably then unfair pricing. We probably realize that competitors are doing better, and you are basically having a very unfair pricing policy. Not basically having inconvenience time, location, the way you provide the service in terms of time and the area or time of the day or location is really not something that the customer is happy with. And poor response to service failure. If your service has failed, you have not taken enough steps to recover, and you have not heeded to the customer complaints, which we'll see again in the coming videos. What is the best way to handle a customer complaint? The next concept is about the steps in market segmentation and targeting of services. So when we're talking about the market segmentation and targeting for services, it's the same process. You identify bases for segmentation, whether the bases are segmentation, geographic, psychographic, demographic, behavioral, usage rate, etc. Based on that, you develop different profiles of segments. You look at which segment is attractive based on the measures of segment attractiveness, and you select a particular target segment which you want to enter, and you ensure that the segment is compatible. Once you have figured it out, I think you provide a value proposition to that particular segment and serve that segment. That's simple as that. This concept is nothing much. If this concept is really you've asked to explain this concept, it's all about knowing the same thing that you have done in product marketing. You do the same thing in service. Think of any one service, pick up a service like restaurant service, split it out by different segments, or take up a service which provides let's say your OTT only, because it's something which is very popular. How they cater to different segments of generations, and by segmenting by generation itself. Now we'll look at something called a relationship development model. Now, this model is on everything that we have just studied. If we look at the right hand side, we looked at the outcome was customer benefit, firm benefit. We looked at this. We looked at individual parts under that. We already studied the benefits of relationship marketing to customer and firm. That's the right hand side because that's the outcome. At the end of the day, you're doing it well, you retain a customer, you have a very good relationship, that's what you get. On the left hand side, if we read right on top, it says the factors that influence the development of a strong relationship customer relation includes the customer's overall evaluation of a firm's offering. What does the firm offer? And that is the central part of the relationship driver. Core service provision. on what the core service provision he provides. Is the customer satisfied? The perceived service quality is there, and there is some value that he derives out of the service. Again, we go back and see the right hand side on top. Customers, including the customer's overall evaluation of firm's offering, bonds created with customers by the firm. What are the bonds that the customer creates with the firm? We'll look at each of those bonds in the next coming slide in the video on financial bond, social bond, customization bond, structural bond, and the barriers that the customer faces in relieving the relationship, customer inertia and switching cost. What is this? When you talk about customer inertia and switching cost, when a customer has to leave, what is inertia? Inertia is a physics concept basically. It's more like this. You can talk about it as not the lazy customer. If I've been using a service for a long time, I just don't feel it's worth to switch to a competitor. I'm satisfied with my current provider. I will have to come back and create another video. Excuse me.